What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, R.W. Coolins, coming to you with to speak on the show. First and foremost, giving honor to God who allows me to come at you in this manner. Uh, Nothing major to talk about today. I just got two topics that I want to touch on, or two things that are going on in the world that I want to touch on. And I'm going to start off with this one here. There's the movement going on right now, and it's running from July 1st to July 7th. And it's called Buy Black. And it's telling, us as African Americans, blacks, to support black-owned businesses throughout the country. Buy black. Anything that you need to buy from the 1st through the 7th of July, we need to buy from black-owned businesses. I totally agree with it. And I'm going to give you a couple points that kind of jumped out at me when I started thinking about this. One of the things is I understand the concept, and I'm glad to see that we're all about supporting us, because there's always been this perception that we don't support each other in what we do as far as business and other things like that. If someone's having a show, if somebody's doing this, somebody's doing that. There's always been this perception. Let me sit up straight here. There's always been this perception that we don't support each other in what we do. I disagree. I think we do support each other. I think what happens is we support each other in what we do, whether it be hairstylists, barbers, all those type things. I think we support each other, but I think we tend to down talk the business practices of individuals who have their own businesses when they're not on time, or when they don't open on time, when they give you bad business or anything like that. We tend to tell that very loudly to the audience that we may have, to down talk that person's business because of what they may have done different or what they didn't do right. But we tend to give other businesses the benefit of the doubt when they don't provide us the service that we think we're supposed to get and everything. And we don't talk as loudly as we do about our own people and our own businesses. Just a perception that I see, just something that I've witnessed in my own self, and I've done on occasion where I've down talked a person's business of color because they didn't provide maybe the service I thought they should have. But one thing that I've learned from that, and I take into account, is this person may be a business owner and it's a small business, but how much have they taken into account to help their business grow to become a reputable business, as far as learning the steps, learning to make corrections along the way and all those type of things. I tend to give those businesses the benefit of the doubt when things aren't always up to what we think a business should be. Now, am I right about that, or should we give them benefit of the doubt? In my opinion, yes, we should give them the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes we go into business, and a lot of people go into business not knowing exactly what a business entails from the top to the bottom. We get in, we want to sell something that we have. So what we do is decide we're going to open our own business. And sometimes we don't think through all the steps and all the processes and everything that can go wrong until they go wrong. Now, I'm not saying that everyone's business happens that way, but there are steps and there are ups and downs to running a business, just like doing anything else, that they may not always be up to par. I'll give you a prime example. I'll even talk about my show. I've been doing this show since 2012. And in coming up on 8 years, 8 years that I've been doing the show, I've had a lot of peaks and valleys. I've had times where internet wasn't working correctly, when sound is dropping in and out and different things. I've had guests. I can remember one big interview I did was with David Tolliver from Men at Work, who he was coming on my show to preview his brand new album he had, and my internet connection kept going in and out, in and out. And one of the things that I prayed was that he wouldn't hold it against me as an internet radio show trying to bring the people something different and advertising and putting out there his new album, and the internet going in and out. Because what you find out is, if that word got around from him, who is big in the business, still doing his thing, that don't go on to speak on his show because he doesn't have the capability to do a good interview, not because I wasn't asking the right questions or not because what we were talking about was not important as far as promoting his album, but my internet access on that day and other days, but on that specific day was one of the worst ones of them all. So you have to take into account that you have these bumps, and anytime you're dealing with outside entities for your business or what you're trying to do, you may have hiccups. And because I dealt with that experience, it's easy for me to sit here and tell you that when I go into a black-owned business, a small business, or whoever's business, I give them the benefit of the doubt if everything doesn't seem to be the way we feel it should be, because we've gone to a Macy's or a Nordstrom's or Dillard's or any of those big name stores you can think of, and we didn't have those type of experiences or those type of hiccups. Because I'll tell you this. We go to big department stores, Walmart, for instance. Everybody goes to Walmart. Everybody goes to the grocery store. Everybody goes to department stores and everything like that. But we don't hold, watch this now, we don't hold the business accountable for that one person on that register who may be checking you out, who has a bad attitude. We don't hold the whole Macy's as a corporation accountable. We talk about that one person who checked us out. And I'll give you a point. When we say something about the service we had at a Kroger's or a grocery store, Walmart, Macy's, we may say their name, but we're specifically going to keep it to the person who gave us the service. But when we go to a small business, we hold everyone in that small business accountable for whatever service we were provided. And we make it a point to say that specific business's name over and over and over again, because that business is a one entity and they did not give me the service that I felt I should have gotten. Because what we do is we say, man, the Walmart, and I'll give you a prime example, the Walmart on Lake Mead here in Las Vegas doesn't give me the service that the Walmart over on Tropicana gives me. The people on Lake Mead are rude at that Walmart. But guess what? You didn't stop going to Walmart. You just went from one location to a different location. You can't do that with small business. The reason I'm saying all this is we have this thing coming up, as I mentioned, from the 1st through the 7th for black-owned business, support black-owned business. Let's not make this a 1st of July through the 7th of July thing. Let's make this an ongoing thing to make these businesses successful. And if you have a problem with these businesses, when you go in and something is not to your liking, you don't have to go tell the world about it. Tell the owner about it. Tell the person who waited on you about it. Tell the customer service rep about it. And see if they can make corrections at that time for what you feel is not good customer service, or that you're not getting what you think you should get from their business. Either the owner is going to be acceptable to it, or they're going to tell you to get out the store. Take the chance. Take the issue and take the problem straight to the person who owns the business. Now, my next problem that I have, and that wasn't a problem, but this is a problem, but it's something that we're going to have to deal with. The mask, wearing of the mask. You know, I remember when this COVID-19 first started and everybody said, oh, the best way to prevent this, put a mask or wear your mask. That way you're not spreading it. That way you don't have a chance to catch it. Wear your mask. And we've seen everyone, unless you ran into some people that were kind of, I'm going to say ignorant, not ignorant, ignorant to the fact that what the mask was for in the beginning. And now we've opened up. Certain places have opened up. Certain cities and states are opening businesses up. Like here in Las Vegas, they got casinos open where you have to wear your mask. Every state, every city has their different rules and regulations of what we need to do during this time. And then I see numerous posts from people talking about the masks are taking away their freedoms and this and that and everything like that. And you know what? That's your opinion. You know, hey, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But at the end of the day, if you look at the numbers, there have been over 120,000 deaths in the United States of America alone from COVID-19 or complications from COVID-19. And all you're being asked to do is wear a damn mask. Not only for you, but for the people that you may come in contact. You know, when this first happened, when the COVID-19 first happened, and nobody had any idea what was going on or what the extent it was. People were wearing masks. People were running out buying toilet paper, hand sanitizer. They were doing everything you can think of that was being told to them. They were following it step by step. You had some out there that were a little against the grain or whatever, but overall, we were all doing step by step what they were asking us to do. People were listening to Dr. Fauci and his input and taking his input as being a doctor, as being someone who's worked in disease control for many, many, many years, considered to be an expert in this field. People listened to him. People understood what he was saying, and they followed the directions of what was coming out of his mouth because nobody knew anything about this but him because he's the expert. Now we have people questioning him, questioning anything and everything that someone is telling you to do to try to prevent the spread of COVID to the point of what it is now that we've opened back up and the spike has gone back up, and they're asking people to follow these guidelines, to do these things so we don't have to shut the government down again or shut businesses down, shut things down. They're asking you at a minimum right now to wear a damn mask, and people are fighting back about their freedoms. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's a small price to pay. Let me just put it that way. It's a small price to pay to put the damn mask on whenever you go into someone's business, or to put the mask on when you know you're going to be around people. It's a small price to pay to put that mask on than for you to feel guilty that you didn't wear a mask and someone you came in contact with ends up in the casket, or that you end up in the casket. And that's the extreme. But let's bring it back a little bit. There's someone you or someone you know may end up in ICU on a ventilator because you didn't wear a mask, or you end up in a ICU on a ventilator because someone around you didn't take your health into account. And then you flip it, and while you were not wearing a mask, have put someone else in jeopardy of being laying in that bed. This is not something that we should have to go through and talk about on a consistent basis and on a daily basis. This is a part of life right now. This is something that we need to do in order to protect not only ourselves, but the people around us who we say we care so much about. If you truly care about your fellow man, then put the damn mask on and stop complaining about it. Your freedoms that you talk about, having to wear a mask to protect somebody from getting sick, it's small. It's a small price to pay. A funeral costs a whole lot more. That bill for being treated for COVID-19, for being on a ventilator and everything, then I think I seen a post that someone was charged over up to $1 million for all the care he had because he had COVID-19. All I'm saying is, a mask, and they're out there everywhere where you can buy them for when you have to leave your home and go handle your business and then come back home. The amount of time that you have to have that mask on is small compared to what you could be exposing yourself or exposing someone else to, because you choose to be, and I'm going to use the word selfish, because you feel it's impeding on your freedom. Sounds ignorant if you really, really sit and think about it. I'm your boy, R.W. Coolins. Just wanted to come to you with those two things real quick. Love yourself, love one another, keep your head up, and most definitely, keep your faith in God. I am your boy. I'll see you on the video, and I'll see you on the radio. Holla at your boy. Peace.